Hello students, welcome to our English visual class. So today we would be learning more about non-finite verbs. In our last class, we have learned that non-finite verbs do not show any tense nor it shows any agreement with the person or number, which means non-finite verbs has no agreement with there is no agreement between the subject and the verb, nor it shows us any tense, nor it has any agreement with the person and number. Whereas in finite verbs, we have seen that the verbs agree with the subject and even with the tense and even with the number. Number means whether if the subject is singular or plural, then even the verb we use is a singular or plural, right? And even this person, that means if the subject is in the first person, second person, or third person. This is what we have seen in finite verbs, that finite verbs agrees with all these things. But in non-finite verbs, there is no such agreement, okay? So, given below in the example, we have, I found his office at a walking distance. Next example, Akash will find his office at a walking distance. Here we have two verbs, found and find. Now here the two verbs found and find are changing, yes or no? In the first example we have found because the sentence is in the past tense. In the second example, the verb here is changes to find because the tense here is in the future tense. And if you look at the subject, I and Akash, there are two different subjects. So even the verb changes according to the tense and according to the subject. But coming to the next verb, that is walking, the word walking remains the same, right? There's no change in both the sentence. Even though there's change in the tense, even though there's change in the subject, but the verb walking remains the same. Hence, we can say that the verb walking is a non-finite verb, okay? Now, there are three functions of non-finite verbs. Though the name is a verb, okay, but it do not function as a verb, but rather it functions as an adjective, as a noun, and as an adverb. Now let us see each of these three functions one by one to understand. Here, non-finite verbs are used as an adjective. Now if you see the example, the sleeping cat is brown. Now here, first of all, you need to know what is an adjective. An adjective is a word used to modify a noun. So in this example, we have the noun as the cat. Yes or no? So here, the word sleeping, even though the word sleeping is a verb, sleep plus ing, even though it's a verb, but here, in this example, it is not acting like a verb, but rather it is acting like an adjective. Now here, sleeping, the word sleeping is modifying the cat. Yes or no? What cat? Which cat? The sleeping cat. So here, it is the word sleeping is a non-finite verb which is acting like an adjective. The second function of non-finite verbs as a noun. Now class, I've told you in our other grammar classes that to be a subject and an object in a sentence, it has to be a noun. Yes or no? Then only we can call it as a subject or object. So, and to be a noun, and what is the use of a noun in a sentence? Why do we have a noun in a sentence? What is the use of having a noun? The use of a noun in a sentence is to be the subject and the object. Now you know what's a subject and what's an object, right? So the use of a noun in a sentence is to be a subject and an object. Now in this sentence, running is a good habit. Now here we know that the word running is a verb, but in this example, the word running, it is not acting like a verb, but it is acting like a subject. Yes or no? What? Now to ask a subject, to find out a subject and an object, we have to ask the question what to the verb, right? So what is a good habit? Running is a good habit. So here running is a non-finite verb which is acting like a noun, which means the subject of the sentence. The last function of non-finite verb is to act like an adverb. Now here, what is an adverb? An adverb is to modify a verb. Okay, an adverb is used to modify a verb, telling us why, where, when, and how the action took place. It tells us why, how, where, and when an action took place. Remember this one, okay? This is the work of an adverb. To modify a verb, that is an action, by telling us why, how, when, and where. Okay, so here in this example, Alia went to the UK to study. Now here we know that Alia went to the UK to study. Here also to study is a went is a man verb, and to study is also another verb in this sentence. But if we look and read the sentence carefully, to study, now it is not acting like a action, it is not acting like a verb, but instead it is acting like a adverb. How? By telling us the reason. I told you, the work of an adverb is to tell us, the work of an adverb is to modify the verb by telling us how, when, why, and where. Now here, to study, Alia went to the UK to study. Why did Alia went? It is telling us a reason. Alia went to the UK to study. So hence, the verb to study is a non-finite verb which is acting like a adverb in the sentence. I hope this is clear. So, what we have studied in this video lesson is that there are three functions of a non-finite verb, that is to act like an adjective, like a noun, and like an adverb in a sentence. So finally, in our next video lesson, we would be learning the three types of non-finite verbs. Okay, we have now here, this is a function of non-finite verb as an adjective, noun, and adverb. Now here, these are the three types of non-finite verbs. The first one is the gerund, the second one is the infinitive, and the third one is the participle. Now remember the function. Now yes, gerund, the function of a non-finite verb is to act like a noun, which is the gerund, and to act like an adverb, which is the infinitive, and to act like an adjective, which is the participle. And all these types of non-finite verb we'll be learning in the next video one by one.